My name is Stefan, and I'm a co-founder and the head of growth here at Wundergraph. Wundergraph is what we believe to be the new standard for serverless API integrations. Today in our lightning talk, we're going to talk about what Wundergraph is, an introduction to our beta program, WonderHub, as well as future plans for WonderHub, as well as a quick demo. Quick disclaimer, before we start, I am actually a junior developer and I'm the head of growth here, which is kind of funny. So I'm not the technical co-founder of Wundergraph. So if you do have any super technical questions, I would love to refer you guys to our CEO who sadly couldn't make it today. So instead, I'll be taking the spot and doing the presentation. If you do have any questions, please save them for the end and I'll try to the best of my ability to answer them. But if not, I can refer you guys to our Discord where we have a thriving community with people that would love to help you guys out, as well as set up a meeting with our CEO. With that being said, let's start. So what is Wundergraph? Traditionally, you couldn't just integrate and use an API. Integrating an API usually meant that you would have to follow a list of manual steps. You would have to read through the long documentation, and you would probably, if you were a junior developer like me, have to bother your senior lead developer on how to integrate this API. With Wundergraph, though, this is no longer the case. Think of Wundergraph as an abstraction layer on top of all APIs, making them portable and pluggable. What Docker is to applications, Wundergraph is to APIs. Docker made it possible to package applications as Docker images, which can be published on the Docker Hub and run on any machine. Here at Wundergraph, we're applying the same principle to APIs. You can package up APIs in the Wundergraph format and publish them to the Wunder Hub. Then as an API consumer, you could integrate one or more APIs with a single command. All of this is possible because we add this abstraction layer. So why we started building Wundergraph? Wundergraph came about because Jens, our founder, technical founder, was working at the time for the largest news company in Germany. And he was tasked with having to integrate a bunch of different data sources all over the world. And one of the biggest complications that he came up with was, why does it take so long for me to integrate an API? Why is it so repetitive and tedious? Why am I doing this all the time? And as they continued to add more APIs, it slowly started becoming a little bit unscalable. And so he started thinking about it, and 4 years ago, he invented Wundergraph. Wundergraph is one unified GraphQL API for all of your data sources. It automates all the repetitive tasks of building integrations, and it enables a scalable integration strategy where you just plug everything into the virtual graph. So what is the wonder in Wundergraph? Our unique technology allows you to speak one common language, which we all love, which is why we're at this meetup, GraphQL, to all your systems, APIs, databases, and third-party APIs. It also comes in with a lot of the out-of-the-box features such as security, authentication, monitoring, and governance. And the next thing we're going to talk about now is what is WonderHub. WonderHub for us, and hopefully for everybody in the world, is going to be the GitHub for APIs. App developers can pull APIs from the WonderHub ecosystem and integrate them into your Wundergraph application with a single command. And that's also what we're going to demo in the second half of this presentation. App developers can then publish and share their API in the hub, building an active API community. WonderHub right now is actually in its public beta. So if you guys are interested in signing up and trying it out, please contact me after the presentation. And we're also looking for people with public APIs to put them on the hub. WonderHub also works like GitHub does with organizations, that you can do this with internal APIs as well. So let's say you have a junior developer asking you for help with an API, instead just send them to the WonderHub where he can download the API instantly with the click of a button. So let's see what WonderHub does. We're going to build a small application that integrates two APIs. Our application is going to show the weather for the capital of a country, and we need no special requirements other than Visual Studio. Let me rearrange that. Awesome. So let's just open up an empty folder. And we're going to call this one GraphQL Meetup Demo. Okay. Once we open up that, let's open up our terminal, just so we show that there's no funny business, it's empty. First thing we're going to do is install our command line interface for Wundergraph, which we call WunderCTL. Give that a second. Awesome. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to log into the hub. No screenshots, please. These are my credentials. Awesome. I'm just kidding, you guys. If you want a screenshot, you can. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to initialize an empty Wundergraph project. And false, it's not going to be empty. It's actually going to come with like some pre-starter code and things that you can get started with a lot more quicker. So WunderCTL init. Oh. Awesome. And now we're going to install our dependencies. As that's installing, we're going to head over to the WonderHub And I'm going to just go over kind of our landing page as well as how you guys could get started. So when you head over to hub.wundergraph.com, you'll be greeted with our giant letters that say the package manager for APIs. This is where you'll be able to browse APIs. You can check out our documentation, more documentation on the Wunder CTL, as well as our blog. The guide that we're doing right now can also be found with this quick get started guide. Also, like I said, we're in beta access and it's public. So if you guys would like to try out the Wunder Hub, we would love for you guys to join a Discord, test it out, and give us some feedback. Also, if you would like to add your API to the hub, please contact me again. So let's check out the APIs we currently have. Let's check the dependencies are installed. Awesome. So the first two APIs that we need, we're going to need countries and weather. So let's grab countries, just like that. And let's grab weather, just like that. Awesome. Let's double check our manifest file to make sure they installed correctly. Cool. Let's check out our config file. So our config file comes preloaded. As it's an auto-generated SDK. It comes with some pretty cool stuff in here and it's written in TypeScript. We don't need these right now for our application, so I'm going to get rid of them. It also comes with the SpaceX API, which we're not going to be using for this demo. Let's get rid of that. And next thing we need to do is import integration so we can work with our APIs. And let's get rid of this too. We don't need that. Cool. So after that, we need to create some namespaces for our APIs. So const weather is equal to integrations.wundergraph.weather. Boop, boop, boop. API namespace, and we're going to call it weather. We're going to do the same thing for our countries API. If you guys see any spelling mistakes, please let me know. I am the world's worst speller. Countries. API namespace, countries. Awesome. Next thing we do, we integrate them into our application. Actually, I'm gonna put weather first. Awesome. Just like that, we were able to add two APIs into our Wundergraph application. Wundergraph makes use of your IDE to give you auto-completion as well as IntelliSense. And to do that, it's gonna help us when we're writing GraphQL operations against a virtual graph. For this to work, all we have to do is run this command, Wunder CTL generate. This will make our experience much better. Cool. Next, let's head over to the operations folder and we can get rid of these since we're not working with the SpaceX API. And let's create a new file called weather.graphql. Since this is a lightning talk, I am going to copy and paste the code over for the query instead of typing it out. And we'll just explain kind of what's going on. Here we have a simple operation that fetches the code, the name, and the capital of a country from the country's GraphQL API. Then it uses the capital here. It uses the capital to fetch the weather and joins it in the response down here. And then after that, we're using the transform directive to flatten the response. Okay, cool. Our operation is ready to go. And now it's running. Let's run it. All of our operations are exposed via JSON REST by your Wunder node, which is the Wundergraph API gateway. To be able to run our first operation, we need to start the Wunder node. And we're going to put it in debug mode just to make sure if I made any mistakes. Okay, awesome. Let's double check that it's running. And we're good. So now we're going to head over to Postman. We're going to write a query, or we're going to write a request to see the information. I've been doing this demo a couple of times practicing, so I already have it. Also, fun fact, if I run this, it won't work because there's a new line that Postman adds already. And it took me about like 30 minutes to debug just because of Postman adding a new line. So let's run that. And we're going to do it for the US. If all goes according to plan, we should be able to get the capital as well as the weather in the United States, or the weather at Washington, DC. Awesome. Just like that, we were able to, in 4 steps, build a virtual graph consisting of multiple APIs. We exposed GraphQL operations through JSON REST, and you might not know, but we took care of so many other different things. And this is just the beginning of what Wundergraph and what the hub can do. It's really exciting, but just doing a simple request like this with Postman, it doesn't really show all of the capabilities of what Wundergraph can do. Wundergraph does a lot more than just integrating APIs with GraphQL and exposing them through JSON REST. Our framework is capable of generating complete TypeScript SDK, React hooks, and so much more. And our biggest focus, as well as our company model, is that we are trying to create the best developer experience for working with APIs. And we hope to take you on this journey with us. Let me just do one more for fun. Nice. And let's do Germany since our founder is from Germany. Awesome. Just like that. Once again, my name is Stefan, and I am representing Wundergraph as our CEO and technical founder couldn't be here. You guys can connect with me on Twitter and my email down here below. If you guys do have any questions related to marketing, growth strategies, I am the expert for that.